So believe it or not, Gavin Newsom could actually be responsible for stripping away 2 million home gardens in the state of California and make you financially responsible for paying for it. This policy he is spearheading, also called Zone Zero, would require that all these good standing trees and vegetation within a 5-foot radius of your house be removed, and that would include garden plants like fruits and vegetables. This policy will impact roughly 2 million homes within the state of California, and for somebody living in a part of this state like Los Angeles could cost you up to $13,000 to come into compliance. And they're so generous about this, they're going to give you 3 years to comply before they send some sort of inspector to your house. And the neat thing is, if the inspector sees stuff that they don't like, they can just pull it out themselves. They can mess with your garden, they can mess with your plants, they can mess with your vegetation. To commit this tyranny, they're just going to say you need to have your space be ember resistant because you're in a very high fire hazard severity zone. But the opponents to this rule are saying that it would be better not to remove urban tree canopy because they provide the necessary shade to prevent some fires. Oh, why didn't we think about some of this stuff before? Aren't we genius policymakers in Sacramento? Did we actually think that the Eaton and Palisades fires cared about shrub or urban vegetation? I mean, come on. We didn't even have water to fight those fires. I think that was a much bigger problem if we're talking issues here. And if you needed to know that Gavin Newsom was responsible for sure, here's the receipt. I mean, they passed 2 bills in the legislature to create a footprint for implementing something like this. Not only that, but because of the delay in this policy being implemented, here's the specific executive order from Gavin Newsom earlier this year that he wants Zone Zero regulations to be implemented by December 31st, 2025. And as you can see, this policy is so controversial that the California Department of Wildfires, which is responsible for implementing this, hasn't done it yet. And as you can see from their most recent meeting, it says that consent items are expected to be routine and non-controversial, meaning this was not even in consideration. And it wasn't for prior meetings either. Would think that we would learn tyrannizing 17% of all structures in California by making sure they don't have a wooden fence around them, or saying that they need to use 5-gallon water pots to be able to grow anything is just a dumb idea. But you know, this is the same guy who says rules for thee and not for me. He threw a giant Christmas party and pissed off his neighbors because a bunch of his guests parked where they weren't supposed to.